Hey guys, I wanted to hop on and do a quick video before we leave this gorgeous place. This gorgeous place being the Smoky Mountains, Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina. I don't know if you can hear that sound behind me, but there's a boat coming down across the lake. I want to try to get it in here, and I don't think I can, but it's very, very beautiful here. And we've enjoyed a nice break. And it's really given me some time to think about where I'm heading financially, relationally, mentally, what things we could do to change the trajectory of our lives. So for me, I'm after a goal of becoming a millionaire on paper. Now, a lot of people might say, it's hot, sorry, it's really hot, heat wave, it's crazy. But becoming a millionaire on paper is an attainable goal. All that would mean is that you have $1 million as your net worth. So your liquid assets, your cash, your house equity, realistically speaking, not trumping it up to some amount that wouldn't actually occur, but adding all of that up and then having your actual net worth be $1 million. Now, that might seem like a lofty goal to you. It might seem impossible to you. But then on the same token, it might seem like, hey, what is this guy talking about? We already have 15 million in the bank. That's excellent. That means that you've done some amazing things. You've invested, you've lived wisely, you've probably worked hard, made a lot of money, maybe got some breaks along the way, made some good choices to build that type of a nest egg. But for the average person, getting to $1 million is pretty tough. And even to get to $100,000 is very difficult. I just saw a video about a week ago where Charlie Munger, he is Warren Buffett's right-hand man, said that the first $100,000 is absolutely paramount. He said, if you can save $100,000, it will get much easier after that. And you might be thinking, I don't even have $5,000, and that's fine. We're all at different starting points. But if you can decide up front, this is my goal. I want my nest egg to be 300,000. Say if you're in your 20s, you might just say 300,000, 200,000. You could also shoot much, much higher, which I recommend, because the higher you shoot for a goal, the higher you're going to land. So for me, a millionaire on paper, and then we'll expand out from there. Now, this could be expedited significantly if our investments take off dramatically. If my book, there's a shameless plug, my book titled From Pounding Nails to Sales, that takes off more, and I sell many more copies of that, that also could increase or expedite that goal of becoming a millionaire on paper. I should actually tell you where to find that book since I brought it up. I wasn't really planning to do this, but it's called From Pounding Nails to Sales. You can buy it on Amazon. You can also go to Wayne Kramer, WayneKremer.com, and you can purchase it there as well. But there are different things. Now, there is another route that could take place. It could take a lot longer. It could slow down. The economy could collapse. I don't know. I don't control these things. I don't necessarily think that's what we're headed towards, but it's possible. In 06, 07, 08, brutal economy, brutal housing market. It stunted a lot of people. It took a lot of people out financially, actually. But that could occur. But the main thing is you have to have a goal in front of you. So what is your goal? What are you after for yourself, your family, financially, mentally, spiritually, physically? What is it that you want to achieve? For me, it's financial freedom. The Unfixed Income channel, that's what we talk about, is true financial freedom. So when you want to buy a car, you buy it with cash. When you want to pay off a debt, you do it with cash. Just click a button, it's gone. You're not beholden you're not beholden to your debt. You're not buried in your debt. You're not shackled. You're not chained by your debt. In fact, you are in a much better situation where you and I control our own financial destiny. We don't have to let our debt rule over us and hold us back. It's a lot simpler than you might think. And it all begins with choices, different choices. What kind of choices are you making that will enable you to have a much more wealthy life, much more financially free? What are the choices that you're making in your day-to-day life? Are you buying $30 lunches when you're making minimum wage? Well, that has to stop because it's a losing proposition. You cannot in any way get ahead if you keep doing that. Are you buying gourmet coffees every day at like Starbucks or whatever? Nothing against Starbucks, their coffee's great, but are you doing that every day when you don't have the funds? Are you driving an SUV that you shouldn't be driving? I mean, are you driving a sports car, something that you could change, you could downgrade, not safety and reliability, but just downgrade to a used SUV, used car, take all of that savings and interest and debt and possibly insurance, and you could put that into your investments. You could save for the future. So if you look at what you're doing in your daily life and you make your choices one by one small decision at a time, you're going to end up in a different location. You're going to end up somewhere completely different than where you are right now. And it will seem almost like an overnight success, but the real truth of the matter is it's not an overnight success. You've been planning and you've been taking necessary steps and doing the legwork to get yourself into a better financial position. And by doing so, you're taking a future that didn't seem possible and you're making it possible. I'm not trying to make you dizzy. I'm just trying to get a view of this road that we're on. So make the right choices. Don't let society dictate how much savings you're going to have. Don't let people tell you what kind of car you need to drive. Don't let them say, hey, your house is lame. You need to upgrade that house. Even if the rates are high and your payment's going to go up, you need to upgrade it. You deserve it. And you might deserve it. You might be a really hard worker and you might be doing great at your job. But the thing about it is, if you can delay that gratification and keep those choices continuously going in the right direction, you're going to arrive at your financial goal much, much, much earlier and in much better condition than you would otherwise. So some of the choices that we've had to make, I don't have a brand new SUV. I don't have the cool car that I'd like. And I think cars are great, but I don't. We have a used, very reliable Honda. We have a couple other used cars. They're very reliable, a couple Toyotas, and we're not bearing ourselves in debt because the debt is what really hurts you. You can't overcome it because you're bringing in your money and the money going out is going to debt, to debt, to debt, to debt. And the stack of money that you started with is so depleted by the time you pay your debt obligations each month, you have nothing left to invest. You have nothing left to put into assets that can give you a return on your investment. And that, my friends, is a very big part of the puzzle and of the equation towards getting to an unfixed income life, financial freedom. You know, some of the wealthiest people on earth just drive a basic car. They just drive a very reliable, like Honda Accord or a Camry or something. They don't put their stock in something like that, but rather they put their stock in themselves and their family and their financial future and protecting themselves so that they can enjoy the fruits of their labor. They can take the extra monies that they've saved and built up, they can give it to their church. They can help the homeless. They can help people in need. They can start a business. There's so many opportunities out there that we can all be a part of. But if we don't have any finances left, or any financial wherewithal left, I should say, after we pay our debt obligations, they all become null and void. You know, if the stock market dives, and some of the greatest, this is not necessarily financial advice at all, but if it dives and you know that a stock, you feel that it's a very solid long-term growth stock, and it comes down a bunch in the stock market, you could purchase more of that stock. If the and if you but the trick is you have to have the money to do it. And if you keep becoming a consumer and using all of that money towards your debt obligations, because you have to have the latest car, you have to have the latest iPad, you have to have the latest phone, you have to have the latest television, the latest boat, motorcycle, whatever it is, you can't be part of that. If the real estate market takes a dive, which currently a lot of people are talking about that, where the real estate market might be taking a dive soon. If it takes a dive, you could have the opportunity to buy the house of your dreams at a greatly discounted price. I mean, how cool would that be? So if you wanted a lake home, or you wanted somewhere like this, and the stock market or the housing market takes a downturn, and you have dry powder, i.e. cash, accessible liquidity, you could make a move. You could buy a condominium. You could buy a home in Florida. You could buy a cabin in the mountains if you wanted. Because the people that don't have liquidity, they're not going to be able to move forward. It's like, I think Warren Buffett said this. He said, when the economy collapses, or there's a stiff or tough economic downturn, that it allows everybody to see who's not wearing any pants. And what he means by that, which just sounds a little odd, is when the economy takes a dive, if you've not been diligent and smart with your money and protected your finances, then you're not going to have a way to get through it. It's going to be really tough. The reason I'm saying this is because I know, because the last time the economy took a significant dive, we lost almost everything. We had a family of 5 at the time. We were down to 69 cents in our checking account. It was absolutely brutal. It changed the way that I look at debt forever. I was doing it wrong. I'm okay with admitting that I was wrong. I thought that, we're young, we're smart, this is an easy win, we don't lose. Yes, my parents struggled in the 70s and 80s, but we're not going to. It's easy. We buy a house, it goes up in value, nothing bad happens to us. Well, lo and behold, bad things can happen to good people, and it's a stiff lesson. It's kind of like, I always say this because it's actually kind of true. If every morning you walked out your door and you were going to work, and somebody handed you an ice cream cone, they're like, "Hey, good morning, Wayne, here's your ice cream cone, we think you're great." That would be pretty cool. But if every morning somebody slammed you in your forehead with a brick, just boom, right in the face, I personally believe you would remember the brick a lot more than the ice cream cone. My point is, learning and maintaining that learned lesson in your mind, and not forgetting what happened and what got you to that place of pain or suffering, is really, really important. Never forget. You don't want to forget, if you overextended yourself and you used too much consumer debt and the economy collapsed, or you tried a business investment, or whatever you might have done and it didn't work, don't forget that. Keep it in the back of your mind. Use it to go back to. Don't allow it to inhibit your future growth, because that's a whole nother topic. That could be an entire another episode. But make sure that you're not repeating the exact same mistakes that got you in trouble in the first place. Don't allow that to happen to you or your family or your finances. It's just not a good way to live. So since the economic downturn in 06, 07, 08, we've lived differently. I used to think that it would just always be okay. And we're Christians, so I believe God is always going to be with us, and he will protect us, and he'll provide for us for sure. But I don't necessarily believe that if we continue to make poor choices and decisions, that it's just going to be fine. That's foolish. That's not wise thinking. So it's the little choices that we make along the way, each and every single day, that are going to enable us to have a better tomorrow and get to our goals much quicker than we otherwise could have gotten to them. So to briefly summarize, what are you after? What's your most important short-term goal that you're trying to accomplish? Write it down. Focus on it. Are you trying to become a millionaire on paper? Are you trying to have $10 million on paper? Are you trying to become debt-free? Are you trying to gain real estate investments, get passive income? Are you trying to start a business? Whatever it is, write it down in great detail. The more detail, the better. And get it in your mind's eye. Make a vision board. Focus on it. Don't let it escape your mind, even for a day. Always have it in the front of your mind, top of mind awareness. I used to work in radio, and I remember during the schooling for radio, they talked about radio ads. And I know radio is, I don't know if it's a dying breed or what it is now. It's probably gone. Internet has taken over everything, which is great. That's just how things work. But radio used to be almost, TV and radio used to, well, radio preceded television, but it used to be the way everyone got all of their information. You would just turn on the radio and whatever was given you, that's what you got. TV obviously took that to another level with visuals, but we used to talk about a thing called top of mind awareness, and that's how radio advertising works, where you advertise consistently, like Johnny's submarine sandwiches every day. Johnny's submarine sandwiches, $1.99, blah, blah, blah. You know, Johnny's subs, we've got a special this Thursday. Johnny's subs, we're going to be going on a 5K walkathon. Johnny's subs, it's consistent, it's frequency, and it's what it does is these advertisers, they like to have their product or their company top of mind. So top of mind awareness, so that when you need a sub, you're thinking about Johnny's subs. Now, Wayne's subs might be better than Johnny's subs, but the problem is Wayne didn't tell you about his subs. He kept his little sub shop a secret. He kept it under wraps. But Johnny, now Johnny, come on, man, he wrote some ads. His subs rock. So you're going to go to Johnny's, obviously. It's just like that with our goals and what we're trying to achieve. Top of mind awareness is really important. One way that we can get to top of mind awareness is with the vision board. Or another person that I follow quite a bit is Grant Cardone. He talks about writing your goals down every single day, multiple times a day. So you wake up in the morning, you write it down. There's something powerful about writing something down. Even with my customers, if I'm trying to explain financing or different options, if I write down and I show them, it's so much more effective at teaching somebody something than just a spoken word. So when you're writing something down, it kind of makes it more concrete and real in your mind, and it really ingrains it into your psyche. So write it down multiple times a day. Keep it top of mind awareness. And make all the little choices each day, those little decisions that could derail you over time. An $8 cup of coffee times 20 days a month is $160. It's not free. I'm not saying don't buy a nice cup of coffee. You can, but every single day, going out to eat every single day will deplete you so much financially that it's just crazy. And the people that have a budget or don't necessarily do that all the time, they're going to have so much more money. You could have the exact same income. In fact, you could have a much higher income, someone that's living way beyond their means, driving the latest incredible car, going out to dinner every day, all of these crazy expenditures, someone with a much lower income, living smart, making those small choices day to day, and they're going to end up in a better spot because they're using their intellect and they're choosing different outcomes by the little decisions that they're putting into place every single day. It's kind of like the saying, death by 1,000 cuts. You, little by little, brick by brick, block by block, step by step can change your life. But you have to start walking. You have to pick up the first brick. You have to pick up the first block. And you have to have a vision. I hope this helps. I hope it gives you some encouragement. Set your goal, write it down, and let's get these things going. For the Unfixed Income channel, I hope you all have an absolutely incredible day. Go ahead, click like if you so desire. Comment what you think about this video if you want, or if you have an idea for a topic or an interview, go ahead and do that as well. Thanks for checking out the video. Until next time, take care and God bless.